so easy to get OxyContin into the systems of America? Why is that so easy?
Yeah, well, prescription drugs killed Heath Ledger, so there you go.
A lot of he made the headlines, but how many others? There are millions of others that didn't make the headlines, and I want to know, why is it so easy for people to get a hold of OxyContin?
Right.
I just want people to think about that. I just want them to think about it, because I'm going to tell you, when they got me out of the hospital and they put one of those morphine patches on me, and they told me it was okay, it was all right for somebody like me, and they told me because I've been through 4 spine surgeries, and I'm fused, and yes, I have pain, and it's okay, it's not a sin. Somebody like me can go through the rest of her life and have 3 Vicodins a day, and that wouldn't be abnormal. Well, when I took that thing off, I went cold turkey, and I tell you, I went through the withdrawals on my own. I do not advise this to anybody, but I didn't trust what the medical community was about to do to me, because I knew they wanted me to go down that rabbit hole, and I refused to go. And I wondered why they wanted me to keep that patch on. Well, I crawled for 3 days. I crawled around. I felt like something was going inside my skin. I felt like it was snakes inside my skin. And I felt like it was the worst feeling in the world, because it was getting that garbage out of my system. But I know, and that was just I got a little tiny taste of what the withdrawals are like, a tiny taste. I can't imagine what it's like for people that they've had on that junk, that poison, for a long time. But I got a tiny taste, and so I can't imagine what it's like. But if I had listened to them, and with the hypnosis that they said, oh, it's okay for somebody like you, wanting me to buy the line of you, the victim, somebody like you who've been through so much, poor you. See, if I believe that identifying myself as a victim and labeling myself as they wanted me to label myself, and identifying myself for the rest of my life as a victim is who I am, then I'm a dead woman.
Right. Well, that's a great attitude. That's a great attitude to, the no victims policy.
But I want people to just think about that, because one of the things as I'm mentioning is why I'm mentioning this is because I don't want us to die. I don't want us to have injuries, and not die because of our injuries, but die because of the labels that we put upon ourselves, that we impose upon ourselves after our injuries. It's not our injuries that are killing us. It's our ideas about ourselves because of our injuries that are killing us.
So it's all a matter of thinking differently and adjusting your mindset.
Yes. I'm a woman who's had spinal injuries, and I live day by day doing what I can with what I have. But I'm not a spinal injury.
Yes.
That's not who I am.
Absolutely not. Well, I think you have, just hearing you talk personally, and just even this last, 20, 30 minutes that I have got talked to you, I think you, from the sounds of it, you have a great ability to deal with adversity that we can actually, I think so the reason actually perhaps as an actress with Kimberly is that you have an inner strength within you that people sense and they can see. And then I think that's what's made the character work so well over the years, is because, they'd write her in situations, but I always felt that, there was always a strength there, and I think you have it, and it came across, and that may have helped.
I hope so, because, but I couldn't have done it without Charlie.
Oh, well, let's talk about Charlie for a second. It is I can say, as a Days fan, I never thought that I would see you and Charles Shaughnessy both on the same show at the same time again, and that he was on separately from you and you were on separately from him, and now you're both together, and all the Kim and Shane fans are going, oh, thank God, even if it's not, going to be a, if it won't be a long-term situation, at least we'll get a little bit of closure and hopefully, see Kim and Shane back together again where they belong. What was it like to work with Charles again after your lives went in such different directions for so long? Were you able to just pick up the pace again like nothing had happened, or did you kind of have to readjust to each other? Or
that was the strangest thing. It was like yesterday, and then like a time warp, and then like it was the strangest. And then again, it was a good thing that it's so fast over there because you really don't have time to think about it. And Charlie and I were talking about that. The pace is so darn quick. You feel like you've been spat out of a Cuisinart and then landed somewhere in your car in the parking lot, and you don't know what happened. You think you did your job. You're quite sure something happened, and it was your job, but you're not sure, and because you're on your way home. But we started running lines, and then it just occurred to us we fell into a rhythm. And the beautiful thing about, I think once in a lifetime, I don't know if it happens with many people, I never expected it to happen to me. I'm just blessed that it did. It happened that I fell into grace with an acting partner, just found him, that I have an acting partner that we sync. We have a synchronicity, that we have a rhythm that matches. We found it from day one in 1984, picked it up along the way here and there, but this is the longest stretch of time that we've ever not seen each other, and had to rely on that just falling back into place like clockwork, and just rely solely on that, just on the rhythm, and it still works. It's like a clock put up in the attic, and it's just been, the parts have been carefully crafted and put together so skillfully, and then you just count on it working for years and years and years, and you finally get it out of the attic and just turn the switch and dust it off a little bit and shine it up, pull the cobwebs off, and click, and it just starts to turn.
I have a caller on the line. Hold on one second. I'll bring her on. Hello,
sure.
504 area code?
Yes. Hello. How you doing?
Hey.
I just want to say that you give me a lot of inspiration listening to you earlier. I have a bad habit of saying that I've been through this, I've been through that, been through this, which I have been through a whole lot, and I got to focus more on being that I was a survivor of these things, and I'm trying to get over the humps of the baggage that I carry through all this. And listening to you, it really gave me a lot of in that.
Well, God bless you. Thank you.
And I'm enjoying you back on Days, too.
Are you really? Oh,
yes, I am.
I'm so happy to hear that. Oh,
I really am. And really and truly, I think it's going to be too much of a short time. I mean, next week you're gone, and, it's kind of like, But I was a fan of yours in 1980s, and I loved the Kim and Shane romance and all. I was really into that.
Well, thank you so much for such a long time support. That's a long time to stay. I appreciate that.
Well, you're welcome, but there was 4 people on the show that I really got a big ump for, and that was for Tony and Anna and